Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie Presents. I am, of course, Shae the Red, and feeling a little bit extra angelic today, trying out something new. I'm trying to change my reputation after last night.
Right.
And 14 Jello shots. And I am, of course, here with my absolutely amazing co-host, CY.borg Valkyrie. How are you doing, Alex?
I'm doing a lot better than most of the people that were on our 5-hour show last night who just drank until they dropped. So yeah, I'm doing great.
I'm just saying, I ran a ton of errands, am streaming, and was supposed to have a second stream, but actually our guest had to cancel, not us. So, all the rest of you are lightweights. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna sit quiet judging you all. I get that. I understand that. And yes, Frog G, I have been drinking a lot of water today, for sure. We're here with the incredible John Celestri. How are you, sir?
Hi, Shae. Hi, Alex. How you doing?
Doing
so
awesome.
Good.
Oh, good.
I'm so happy we got you
Good.
on.
Oh, good. You're standing straight up.
Oh yeah. Oh,
okay.
That's the funny thing. We had a drinking stream to celebrate the first 30 days closeout for Cryptid Knolls for the 656 crew. So basically, we partied with a whole bunch of Mexicans who know how to party a lot, and we had a thing called the Wheel of Doom. So every time somebody backed, we spun the Wheel of Doom that had everyone's names on it, and whoever it landed on, you had to drink.
Okay.
And it landed on everyone frequently. So everyone drank a lot.
And there was a guy whose wife was force feeding him vodka and tequila. It was this whole thing.
He was like, "But I love you. What did I do?"
Yeah,
like,
what did I
take
say?
another shot. And then she hit a point and she goes, "I'm gonna make you bratwurst. I'm actually a little concerned now." It was
just
great.
kept looking at his camera in fear.
He was
And
just like this the whole time, like. Oh. We love Ray though. Everyone was great, and but I was super excited because this campaign I was backer 1 on, and not only was I backer 1, I was backer 1, and I had time to back the tier I want, get extras, do other add-ons to make sure that everything that CY and I wanted was all encapsulated, and we weren't going to miss out on anything. And I 1000% did have to go back and double check because I was like, I did get 2 of those pins, right? I have to have those pins. They're amazing. And for anyone in the audience who doesn't know what we're talking about Bloodwing Angel Chronicles. Thank you very much. You know that you've got to get in on this. So before I let John talk about it, we're going to play his trailer and see if that doesn't entice some people, because this needs to, at a minimum, it needs to break 1,000. I'm so unhappy that it hasn't already. But we're going to play the trailer, see if we can't get you a couple more backers today.
Bloodwing Angel Chronicles. The adventures of Michael, an innocent angel who is unjustly banished to the mortal realm and battles to survive amongst demons, sinners, and living dead.
Awesome.
And there we see all you recommended.
It's okay. I'm not ashamed. I know the shit I watch. It's first off, half of it is like how to do tranny wigs and makeup thanks to you. So that's your fault.
Thanks to me, kind of. I mean, in all reality, we don't share a YouTube account, so that's you searching on my behalf.
Oh, that's whatever. Anyway,
you weren't listening. It's fine.
All right. So this, of course, is coming from. So John, for people who don't know who you are, why don't you clue them in a little bit?
Okay. I've been an animator and a comic book artist since about the early to mid 1970s. So that's a long, long, long time ago, far, far away in the distance. In fact, it's so far that I got in on the ground floor with Star Wars doing Boba Fett in the Star Wars Holiday Special. I am Boba Fett before the live action Boba Fett.
That is awesome.
So, I worked on He-Man and She-Ra, the original Masters of the Universe. Worked on Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, those video games. Worked on Mr. Magoo. I worked on
I love it because you're naming, and this is what Ryan was saying when he first was like, Shae, Sai, you guys need to talk to John. And I was like, who's John? And he goes, he's only the animator of all of our childhoods. And I was like, I don't know about that. And then you're over here going like, oh yeah, Mr. Magoo. And I'm like, I loved that. I watched that all the time.
X-Men Evolution. I'm reading your IMDb right now.
Dragon's Lair, that game, F that game.
Yeah.
So much. I could never, I always would get so caught up in watching the animations, I would forget to hit the buttons and I'd miss the cues.
Yeah.
And then I'd get really paranoid and I'd hold it and I'd be like, I'm not missing a cue, I'm not missing a cue.
Holy
and then I would
shit.
fat finger every button. And no matter what, I just kept dying. All I did was
32
die.
episodes of He-Man, 65 episodes of She-Ra. Wow.
Yes. Look, John animated our childhoods. It's just a fact, guys. And now you have a chance to get his original story, which is Bloodwing Angel.
Yep.
And we're talking about Michael.
Yep. Michael is an innocent angel. In fact, the youngest, the last angel. That's right. There you go. But there's
Flaming finger.
Yes. Well, the fact of the matter is that angels are, they're ethereal. But when Michael is banished to unjustly into the mortal realm, the act just tears the universe apart, and that's an angel that the essence of this here is that Michael, a promise is made to Michael by the Creator to that if you obey my rules and my laws, nothing bad will ever happen to you. Well, there's a game being played between this dark side and the light side, and Michael is the pawn and is thrown out, and that very act and breaking into that promise tears the fabric of the universe momentarily, and then it comes back together, but not in the way it was before. So therefore, everything is changed. What is good? What is evil? What is right? What is wrong? Everything is changed. And this is where Michael lands in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
Yes.
So, but when Michael lands, Michael is now, because angels are both male and female, because they're ethereal, in human form, in physical form, they are both, an angel is both male and female. And so that is Michael. Michael is but even though Michael has got these part of the angelic powers, they are very diminished. Mm-hmm. Like a flaming, to have the wings, but with the flaming sword, it's really a fist, but it's not a full fist. It's a a middle finger flame, and that is it.
As it should be.
Yeah,
and the most appropriate one.
Yeah, that's it.
Especially in New York.
Yeah,
right.
It's a flaming finger. So there is Michael. Is the animation? The drawings are my style of animation in terms of being able to give you as much personality as I can with every drawing, with every expression. In Bensonhurst, where Michael lands, there's this neighborhood, has a religious gift shop that that Michael eventually comes into play with, but across the street from this religious gift shop is this gangster hangout, where there are all kinds of thugs and whatnot, and they are part of the demonic aspects within the neighborhood. But Michael winds up being the guardian angel for that neighborhood.
Oh, awesome!
Now, this is based. I mean, the religious gift shop and the gangster thing. Well, that's part of my neighborhood, what I grew up in, because my parents had a religious gift shop, and across the street from that was the local mafia hangout called the 1717 Club.
Was your parents called the L&L?
Yes, they were called L&L because the letter for Lena and Loretta, so it was L&L. But L is, if you look in various scriptural texts, with holy books or what have you, angels names end with L, E-L. So therefore, it's an angel and angel gift shop. But this is it's worship tools for all beliefs, and that includes priest vestments, chalices, ciboriums, statues, but also sacrificial daggers, because human sacrifice is acceptable.
Okay.
New York is a wild place. Okay.
Well, this world is a wild place.
That's just wow. And I love that you pulled from like your own childhood and everything. I think that's awesome. And anyone who grew up anywhere near that neighborhood is probably like, holy crap, that I know this place. Like I've walked that street.
Yeah, if you go through, let's put it this way: my neighborhood. The best way to say of Bensonhurst, where I grew up, is if you know Saturday Night Fever, that is Bensonhurst Bay Ridge. 86th Street is where John Travolta is walking down the street. That's
nice.
The elevated trains are going by. That's New York, and that's in the 70s. I grew up in the 50s and 60s. I left New York in 1977, but it was still part of that. What is it? The French Connection. That's that car ride through the street of Brooklyn underneath the L, and it goes straight. That's 86th Street. So anyway, I'll try and give a feeling for what that neighborhood is as part of the ambiance in the book.
Right. I love that. Poor Pedro says
one of our other drinkers from last night.
He's saying he's pretty much hating his whole bloodline.
Oh.
Everyone's just celebrating that Pedro's alive. We're happy that you made it. Very, very curious about the horse, Pedro, if the horse is still looking at you weird. Corvinus is also wondering about the horse. Oh, and apparently the horse isn't there today, so the horse can't look at him weird. Oh my gosh. Okay, you've got some really cool perks, and that was, I know that we're getting to it a little bit early for a lot of our viewers. Just keep in mind, if you have questions, make sure that you're putting them out there, but I want to go over the perks because I want to make sure that you guys understand just how good of a deal that this actually is. Because this is 52 pages, full color, and you get episodes 1 and 2 in this collection, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's have you kind of talk to each of your perks, so people, and I'm just going to scroll through them right here because you've got them so nicely laid out.
Well, as I said, the Angel perk is a digital copy, and that's $5 for the 52 pages.
That's insanely cheap.
Yeah. So so everybody could. I didn't know how people would go. Would care about it or whatnot. I mean, a lot of times people, they say, I don't know this character. I don't know this person. Do I really like it? So there you go. That's $5 for a 52-page, PDF.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and then for the Bloodwing perk, again, it's just one. It's the hard copy. And it's again, it's on premium paper. Mm-hmm. In fact, it is so. The book when you thick it out and I put it. I've been packing them now and putting them in backing boards and sleeves and what have you. I have to use I use a Silver Age book system, but it just barely gets in. Because it's a 52-page book. Even the Silver Age is 32 pages.
Yeah, exactly. I like how Alex is highlighting. Just in case you guys didn't know, John is currently shipping this book to all of his Kickstarter backers, and he just started doing that 3 days ago. And he will be sending all of the IGG backers out next month. So
right, yep.
You guys are getting this very quickly.
I was cheating by reading through your updates on Kickstarter while you guys were talking as well, just so everyone had all the information and knew that this stuff was going to get to them quick.
Yeah, yes. I hated. I mean, I'm working on the next campaign. I've got let's see, I've completed 31 pages. Actually 38 pages out of the 52. Well, 48, already. Mm-hmm. So, I finished episode 3. I'm working on episode 4, but I've got the back. I've completed the little standalone 7-pager complete story, which it features the characters from the 1717 Club. It's called the Midnight Special.
Awesome.
And this is what happens in that neighborhood, in that bar, as to why nobody really wants to play with these boys, these bad boys and girls in there. So
I'm assuming that this is not based off the Stephen King story Midnight Special, right?
No, it's just it's like anything would be a Midnight Special.
Exactly.
So. But anyway, so Flaming Finger perk. Well, I sign a hard copy of the book and give you a mini poster. Mini poster is about the same size as the comic book itself in terms of dimensions, and that gives you an idea of the design. I'm going to give you a little extra on this here. So the first book, or rather, if you go back up, the actual the Bloodwing perk is it's $10 plus shipping.
Perfect.
Then the Flaming Finger is also it's $15 plus shipping for that. Awesome. And then we kick into the 25. It's the Demon Slayer perk, which has got the pin.
The absolutely amazing pin. Love this pin. I'm just muting it because I figure we could just talk about it.
Yeah.
Now I've got your fingerprints, John.
Oh.
Well, good. There you go.
You took a really sharp picture of that pin. That's really good.
It's it's just so cool looking. Like, I love the shape of it and everything, and I feel like it's just, I don't know, it's awesome. Like, it's a really cool retro looking pin, and so I love that that's what you had made.
Well, by the way, this picture of the pin I took off your video. I did not take it off of the picture right below it. So
yeah, I know. I could see. I didn't do that kind of highlighting in
the gleam. Exactly.
Well, first of all,
I didn't make it shine.
I designed it that way. I said okay, and so I had this this back and forth between myself and my wife about how shall I do this here. Because you notice that you just see, Michael's cleavage.
Yes.
Now, there was part of me that's saying, the bad boy part of me was saying, well, I'll just have her draped over, And then I was thinking, well, I don't know. Kathy says, no, I don't know. It says, okay, I will.
Next book.
I'll do the petticoat junction version, where. So,
next book.
So we've got that, and so the Demon Slayer is $25. you've got your autographed book. You've got your mini poster. You've got a trading card, and you've got the pin.
That's a really awesome deal.
Plus shipping.
25 plus shipping. That's insanity. And then this.
And then you add on top of that is a Michael, an original pencil sketch. It's all the same pose because I don't play around with, saying I'll do this pose and that pose, and people then start complaining. I like this one better than the other one. This is that's what you get, but it's $50 altogether with shipping. It's an 8.5 by 11 drawing. It's on animation paper, with holes punched.
Wow!
Nice.
So, and so that's what, and that's you get all of that, for $50.
That's a steal. That's a great. This is my favorite perk. This is the perk that I made sure I backed out because I really wanted this sketch.
Well, I've gotten that. There also are ads on. I mean, individually, you could get the pen. You can get your pin. You can get the original a book. I think that's the only really add-ons, that you could do, because I didn't think anybody was going to add. I wasn't really pricing the poster and the card. It's the pin, and the book.
Yeah, well, and you offer such a great kind of selection that if they want the poster and the card, they can back at a level that has the poster and the card.
Yeah.
I feel like you have a good selection with your add-ons, because when it comes to things like the pin, like in my case specifically, the pin in the book, well, I typically back for me, and if I can, I try and back for CY, and so we can both read the book, and then if we want to review it, we each have a copy. And then pins and patches, those are our big things. So I saw that you had pins, and I was like, ooh, am I gonna have to sweet talk him with the PayPal and be like, I'll send you more money? And then I went and looked, and I was like, oh, it's an add-on. I'll just add it on. That makes it perfect. I don't have to do anything shady behind the scenes trying to make a deal with someone.
No. Well, I learned the hard way. They needed to do, add-ons.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, well, I will do that. I also wanted to make sure that there was something that everybody could afford, in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
Because, and also I just don't want to make it too cumbersome to say, okay, I'll add this here, and then I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing levels. Yeah, I'm not doing stretch levels, stretch goals, or anything like that. To me, it's the book. Everything else is all just part of liking the material, and you want to be part of it. I could do the pins and whatnot, but I don't know that I'm going to get into things like T-shirts or anything of that sort, because everybody could do. I just want to do some original material enough that you feel I got something a little special.
Yep.
I can totally understand that. I mean, I'm a merch whore, so I'm gonna try and convince you to do T-shirts at some point. But the thing is this is your first campaign doing something, and you're kind of hitting. You have the nostalgia audience who remembers, all of the past things that you've done, like the Boba Fett Christmas special. They remember Dragon Slayer. They remember Magoo. There's so much. She-Ra. Yeah, you have those people, and then you have this whole new generation that didn't get any of that. So I think doing the smaller scaled, smaller scope initial campaign is good. I would say for your second campaign, I would consider, especially with as many background characters as you have, and the fact that you kind of do a caricature-esque style, you could probably do a tier that had a couple of slots for draw-ins, and charge a little bit more for that. And I'm sure get some people that would be very interested in being kind of immortalized as a background character or walking down the street or.
Oh yeah, that would be an interesting thing. I mean, you could always throw them into the 1717 club.
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking, is like, if you look at this picture that you have right here of the guys in the 1717 club, you could very easily, like, if you get, you know, a chick and she's like, I want to be a cocktail server, you can make her one of the cocktail servers. There's plenty of them there, you know?
Yeah.
But that's kind of a way for people. I understand, especially initially, not doing the stretch goals, but what I would kind of say is don't completely write it off, because the thing that you're selling is a premium product, and you're giving people this opportunity to kind of be invested in it. And if they can buy a piece of it by like, hi, I'm drawn into this one, or I'm, you know, getting more like original artwork from you, and they feel like they have more of like things that can happen.
Right.
Things that can happen after they've backed. They might want to back again because you have a stretch goal of some really cool trading cards of the 1717 club that, you know, you're going to make them look like old school Mafia cards or something like that. And if they wanted to do something like that, then
wanted posters.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wanted posters would be amazing.
Yeah. Well, you see that here comes in. I'm learning what's going on. I've always been focused on the story and the art.
Exactly.
And then I don't know what, you know, what really people want that I can contribute that would give them.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but I also want to make sure that I don't put something in that gives me a problem with the story flow.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and so I, you know, and so having the club, it's a place where you can put anybody in the crowd, you know, and being tossed out or having their head chopped off.
Right. There's so much you can do.
That.
Or a shopper in the background of your gift shop.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying, does this sacrificial blade comes with a sheath? You know?
Exactly. See, and Josh has a good point.
There's some blood on this. Can I get a discount?
Yeah.
Wait, is that a mark down or a mark up with blood? Josh, the amazing animator. So Josh worked with Troy on One Pool, and he says stretch goals should be very carefully considered. We went nuts with them. So you definitely got to make sure that you keep it reasonable. Stretch goals that I will in a second. People like stretch goals that can increase like the page count, or maybe you're going to do a stretch goal. If you get to a certain amount, you're going to unlock like your how-tos, your sketches and your like layouts and everything, and put that in the back as a making of section.
Yeah.
Those things you already have done, and it doesn't really cost you that much extra to print a couple extra pages, but those give people something to kind of strive for.
Right. Well, I think there's part of me that, I mean, I'm learning still.
Absolutely.
What's going on here, and I want, you know, say in the next campaign that I do, when we get episodes 3 and 4 and the 1717 club story, the 7-pager, you know, there's elements I want to find out what we can do, you know, at that point afterwards. And I mean, it is a lot. I want people vested first in the story and then saying, okay, I like this world. That's the thing, is that if we're talking about a world that you don't know where it's going to happen, other than know that something cool is going to occur, then you can then people start wanting to be part of that. It's not, I'm not just, you know, making.
No, absolutely. You want people to be invested for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. Ryan Wynn pointed out you've gotten 2 more backers. You are at 958.
Oh, cool.
We are so close. So close to hitting 1,000. Who is gonna do it? I want to see it hit 1,000 before we finish. I really want to see it hit 1,000. I think that John definitely deserves it. All right, Cy, what was? There it is. Frog G's question is, what is your recommended drink, of course from an RV glass, to have while reading this great looking book?
Oh, is that for me?
That's for you.
Oh, okay.
What drink would you recommend?
Well, you know what? I am a beer person.
Really?
Oh, I feel you.
Put it down, Shae.
And actually, I mean, again, to me, what I really like are the original Boston, Sam Adams Boston Lager, because that's about as close as you get to old style colonial beer.
Okay.
As you can. It's got a nice bite to it. It's mellow. I don't play around with fruity and what have you, but it is nice. I mean, for me. But then again, you know, I'm an old guy. What do you want?
So Sam Adams Boston Lager is what you should be popping open while you read this.
That's right. And you just keep. Now, if we were in Canada in 1977 to 78, you know, when I was at Nelvana, you know, we were doing Rock and Rule. Are you familiar with that movie, Rock and Rule?
I am not.
I'm not, but I feel like I've heard it at some point.
Okay.
It sounds familiar.
Rock and Rule is 1980. We did this feature film at Nelvana. It was the first Canadian animated feature film done, and our soundtrack was Cheap Trick, Iggy Pop, Lou Reed, Debbie Harry, and Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Wow.
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah. That was our soundtrack. So you see, where I'm coming from is I'm just going back to that period of time and just doing this, you know, because we were all rock and rollers basically there.
Right.
You know, you would think that we were, you know, it was the studio was at a converted fish warehouse. In fact, it was still a warehouse that was working, and it was just 10 feet off of Lake Ontario at Harborfront. And so, you know, there are pictures of us. You know, I've shown some pictures on online where there's a whole bunch of us. You know, it looks like some sort of Russian gulag, because it's all snowy and we're all there and we're all got long hair.
An animation sweatshop.
And it's snow and it's in front of this dilapidated, you know, warehouse.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I love it. Like, you say rock and roll, Ryan went nuts, Luke went nuts, Pedro, who is an animator, who's like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. We're gonna have to see it now. So
yeah,
we got it.
It's online. It's online. I worked on it I had 3 characters on it. I had Quadhole, the police chief, Mylar, the club owner, and Cindy Schlepper. She was a giant rock and roller, you know, 14-year-old babe on roller skates, and it was awesome. So,
that is amazing. Wow. I have to see this.
Yeah,
they released this overseas too, because I'm looking at what looks like it's either the Chinese or Japanese DVD cover.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So that's, you see, I'm not bringing just Mr. Magoo and He-Man and She-Ra and you know and Dragon's Lair and Space Ace into it. I'm bringing in, you know, a really rock and roll attitude into this Bloodwing Angel.
Oh my gosh, I am watching that. We're watching this tonight, so I need you to figure out where we can watch this.
Oh yeah, I think it's on YouTube.
Look at Javi. Javi comes in. Hold on. First, Javi comes
Russian?
in to give us shit about the whole hangover thing because Javi was part of it last night. And then he goes, hold on, John worked on Rock and Roll? You got any sketches lying around?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Seriously, John, like some of these old school sketches, if you have them and are willing to part with them, holy cow, could you?
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of like this is you know, there's only so much that I can, you know, give away. I mean, I'm still not old enough to start letting a scene from what is this, Orba the Greek, where everybody comes in mass and just strips the house because of dead.
Yeah, no,
wow.
I totally feel. Look at this. We got people that are going. I mean, just an FYI, if you have anything like that you did, maybe you were okay with getting rid of. We do have the Red Valkyrie art auction.
Yeah.
That you could come and sell them for some pretty pennies, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. I know, but I still am kind of like.
I get you. I totally understand. Look, I just started doing art. I've always crafted, but I've never been good at drawing, and I started doing painting, and I had a couple pieces. Like, I have one piece that I have somebody who's like, "You willing to sell that yet?" And I'm like, "Oh, not yet. I still kind of am in love with it." And I finally am hitting a point where I'm like, maybe now. I might be okay with selling it now. Like, I'm getting more okay with selling it.
Yeah. Well, that's all. Where are you getting these images from?
These are on IMDb.
Okay. Yeah. When you get the big busted.
This is you, isn't it?
No, that's Charles. That's Clive A. Smith, and that is he's the director that okayed these model sheets. That's Angel, and that's Anne Marie Bardwell.
I thought that this was a G, and that was the name you're credited under.
No, that's CAS, Clive A. Smith.
Gotcha.
And I'm credited on it because it's Gianfranco, which is what my mom would call me. John Frank.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's so much stuff out there. I mean, it is basically so. You could not do this today. There is so much drug going on there in that animated film.
This is starting to work.
Yeah.
I like Luke's opinion here. He's like, John, you hold on to those pieces as long as you want, man. Those are a piece of your history.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Holy cow, we're watching this. I'm so excited. This looks amazing.
Yeah. And these are all practices, they were all designs, and there were some stuff worked and some things didn't. If you type out you've got he's done that. If you type on Google Cindy Schlepper, and my name, you might find some of the drawings of her. She's quite voluptuous, and see, it's Cindy and John Celestri and Rock and Rule. You might be able to. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm very curious at this point. Oh my goodness, is she this big one with these pigtails that go straight up?
Yep. That's
Holy hell! Oh, this is amazing. Hold on. I'm gonna have to share screen because that whole thing that I just found was amazing. Okay. We've got...
You're blowing people's minds here, John.
Oh, really?
Right?
Oh, I'm sorry. What else can you do on a Saturday? There you go.
Look at this. Yeah. Holy hell.
This was my first studies of what Cindy was all about. So this, what I had to do was I was just playing. These are all about, 2-minute sketches, just playing around. It's okay, this is what her attitude was. And she's like, 14, 15 years old. And her thing is that she gets locked up every night, but she has to find her way out to get to the Club 666,
Oh my gosh.
So there you go.
She's she's hilarious. This is awesome. Oh, this has just made me so happy. Just watch the trailer. Fantastic work. See, and this is why when I'm sitting here telling you guys, you want to.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at her.
That's
Look at her.
There it is. There's one of her dance numbers there that she does. Yeah. There's Claude. And notice that my mustache is still there too.
Yeah, I noticed that. Look at that handlebar mustache going.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, those are drawings. That's 19. I say 19. That's 1980, 1981.
Nice.
They must have released this a few times because this is on Amazon Prime for free.
Yeah. Well, when they released it, they left it on in one movie theater for one weekend and then buried it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, look at all of this. So for anybody who doesn't know who John Celestri is, go do a Google search.
Educate yourself.
And then realize why you should be backing this book immediately. Because this is insane. I'm just saying, like, come on. And it's such a good deal. Such a good deal. And look, you got Pedro, the resident animator. He's actually animating an intro for us right now.
Oh, cool.
For one of our shows that we're doing. He says, this is what animation could have been. It's the pinnacle of creativity. This is awesome.
Well, Pedro, I what I'm trying to do with the books, with this book, is to do something that I don't have, suits telling me I can't do. I'm just letting myself, do what I want to do, and
absolutely.
And okay, I don't have an editor, I don't have a writer, I don't have anybody doing it. Everything is me. So I would rather say, okay, if I screw up, I screw up, but this is the way I wanted to do it. So maybe I hit it, maybe I don't. But then you never know what is going to click with people, especially when it's when the material is coming from the influences from so far in the back that nobody has seen them in such a long time.
Look at Cora Venice goes, well, damn it, now I want the campaign sketch. I'm telling you, $50, go get it.
Yeah.
Have ramen for a week. That's all that it takes. Just don't eat out twice. John is the dad we all need. It's so true. Oh my gosh. Josh says, Shae's making friends with all the animators. She's building an army. I might be.
Well, we have so many different shows that we need intros for.
I'm just saying, like, Pedro's doing amazing stuff for us. We got John here, who's like the OG animator, which is amazing.
Aww.
Well, you can always rechange it if you want.
One sketch perk. I'm just saying, Corvinus, you could be the hero for all of us if you went and backed again for a sketch. I'm just saying. You're not going to be disappointed, and you're going to probably have people who want to read Bloodwing Angel, and you're not going to want to lend out your copy, but this way you'll have a lender's copy. You lend it out.
Yeah.
Huh?
High pressure sales.
I'm just saying. Yes, I'm gonna make an animated army. I've decided. Yeah. It's happening now.
There you go.
It'll be all the cool people that are eclectic as fuck and have some of the best personalities around. So I'm down. I feel like those are my people. I like video editing. I've watched old school animation, and I just stared at it and went, super mad respect. I'm never doing that. Like old school cell shades and putting the cells down. I was like, oh yeah, it's amazing.
You haven't lived. I mean, let's put it when you've done a film, then that's why you pre-plan everything.
Yes,
everything is pre-planned. You don't screw around with stuff. You don't have the energy to do it.
It was because everything is like its own cell. People look at it and they go, oh yeah, so they just drew it and then they just moved it down. And you're like, you realize that they drew like the trees and then on another cell was like the sidewalk and the buildings, and then another cell was like, there's like layers of this shit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of that was getting completely repainted every single time for every single frame, and all y'all are like, somebody will hire Pedro and be like, Pedro, I want you to do a 5-minute animation for me. By the way, I need it next week. And he just laughs. It's like, that's not, do you know how long animation, and that's without having to do cells. Like, when you're doing cells, you can go fuck right on off. It's going to take a year to do 10 minutes. Like,
oh, yeah, if you've got a crew with you.
Yeah, exactly. See, you hear John going, yeah, if you have an entire crew of people and everybody's working around the clock, a year.
If you've got everyone in a gulag of a fish packing plant in the middle of a Canadian winter.
Yes, exactly. My word person is looking at me funny. Just saying.
No Jello shots.
Peyton, thank you so much for the $2. I am not taking Jello shots for at least a week. See, look, and Death Metal Hero, this is what I love. I love that we get to bring you on and we get to talk with such a legend, because Luke, huge fan of voice acting. He and I geek out over voice acting all the time. I can't do voices, so if I ever do voice acting, it's this or nothing. Like, I'm not great at fixing the voice to sound different. Luke, on the other hand, is phenomenal at it. And so he watches animation and voice actors and is just like, I want to do this. So like we watched your guys' work and then are just in complete awe at it all the time.
Well, and you have actors who can deliver, for animation are very different than from just doing it from a point of view of just doing live action. It's a very different thing. It's more like radio.
Oh yeah.
But actually, it's even harder than radio, because most of the time they're just doing they're not playing off of other actors. I mean, and sometimes it gets you need an energy where you have to have the two of them. I did this. I directed a show. At least there's a sequence at Nelvana, was called Easter Fever, and this was Jack the Easter Rabbit is retiring, so it's all a thing about Jack and his girlfriend and whatnot. So we had Catherine O'Hara was the female, and Garrett Morris was Jack the Easter Bunny, Easter Rabbit.
Gosh.
And so they didn't really work separately. So I got them together in the sound booth in front of the mic together, and they played off of each other. And that's how we did it. There was no cutting and snipping. It was, the timing was right, because I knew what they had to do. So I didn't have to play with the track, afterwards.
Absolutely. Well, and that's the thing, is I think that's something that really elevates a lot of this kind of stuff, is when you can get people in the same room, because it's just like us having this conversation here. It becomes infectious. The tone, and like the panel that I have up right now, I have it up because I love the dynamic that these two have. He's over here being kind of a hard ass with her, and she's being kind of like a whatever, little sassy with him back and everything. And then all of a sudden, a large sound happens, and what does she do? She basically chokes the dude out while she's jumping up like, oh my gosh, protect me, there's a sound. And he's like, it's the wall siren, would you stop? Like, get off of me. And when you have people that can see, like, they see the characters, they kind of start to embody them, they understand how they work, and then you put them together, they just elevate each other so much, because I could see this where you'd have the girl who would just be way over the top, and you'd have the guy who would be even more grumpy in his response back to her, and it just sells that dynamic so much better. I love this. Oh my gosh. I want to get like you and all the animators together. I want to get like everyone together and be like, we're going to work on a project. I don't know what it's going to be, and I can't actually fund it, but we'll figure it out.
Well, you know, this is one thing I wish was a bit more of in today's comic books, and that is emoting.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to be a lot. You just want people. I want the characters to be more than just, you know, just sitting and standing and just and saying their line and just looking very, you know. Oh, you know, I mean, there's a lot of posing, but there's not a lot of acting. There's a lot of pinups, but there's not a lot of, you know, dynamic stuff happening. You know, there's a certain, again, I'm a cartoonist, you know, I'm a caricaturist, but I think in terms of story and getting the action in, I mean, this is, you know, once again, it's a cartoony.
Even right here, right? So you've got, you can tell determination, kind of cocky determination here, right? Sidestepping, and then I'm going to make you pay for that with, owie, I just bit my own tongue. This did not go to plan. And you get all of that off of their expressions. I don't even have to read what's happening to feel what they're saying. Like, just like, look at this. Pedro says the body language, like the way that you have everyone laid out in the scene, the way that they're moving and holding themselves, that is selling so much more. And people don't do that enough. People just, you know, they play it safe and everybody's standing straight up and they're looking right at each other. You have like one or two cool dynamic poses and then that's it. That's not what you do. You go ham. Like every single person is just
you have to sell what it is that and it's a simplicity. I'm trying to be as simple as possible but as interesting as possible. You know, in this page that they have here where they're looking out of the window, this first, they got a panel up, just go up a panel, you know, you see here, there's one camera, and the camera is you know, it dollies up, and you can see the difference in perspective. I'm moving the character here, and then they're up there, and you can see what's going on here. You know, there's not a lot going on. They're just looking out the window, but he's lifting he's lifting it up. She's got the kid in her arms, you know, and then he's going to lean over, and he's saying that there's a lot of attitude that I'm trying to get across,
and it's working. And by the way,
cool.
1082.
Oh, great! Thank
you.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing. Thank you, everyone who has backed. You shot up quite a few backers on today's show, which makes me so happy because you deserve it. And I really just think that the reason that maybe this didn't have a big breakout hit is because people have seen your work. They just don't know they've seen it.
Yeah.
You know, because back when I was watching stuff when I was younger, I wasn't watching stuff and going, gee, I wonder who drew all of this. I was going, man, I really like He-Man. Like, that was like as far as my little brain was going. And now sitting here and going, this is the guy. Like, he did all of this. He did so many, and now this is everything that they wouldn't let me do while I was working. I'm like, well, I want to know what that is. Let me see that. And so I think getting to sit and talk with you and hearing about what it was like for you and the projects that you worked on, that gets people so excited. You had Corvinus debating about, I kind of need the sketch now. You know, you have Death Metal Hero Pedro Ryan all gushing about animation and voice acting and all of that kind of stuff. Like, it makes everybody so excited because that's what they get to see. Corvinus is wondering, because he doesn't want to refund you.
Well, you could just a sweet. If
you can't on Indiegogo. It's not the same as Kickstarter. So Kickstarter, you can change your pledge, right? Because it doesn't take money from you until the campaign closes. Indiegogo does it instantly.
Oh, okay.
So he would have to refund and
you know
reback.
what? Here's what you do is, and this is for anybody. You know, let's say this is a general thing. There's a place there that says a donation of so much. You know, you could say like for any, you know, just that you want to donate some. I thought there was something somewhere around it. This could be any amount.
That goes away once you go in demand.
Oh, okay. Well, then, you know, okay. Well, the best way I can do that is by adding another perk.
I was going to say what you could do, John.
I can do that as in demand.
Yeah, and I was going to say what you could do, John, is you could add a sketch perk, and if you don't want it to just be on its own, you could do it and keep it a secret perk and send it directly to Corventus.
Okay.
And then you just combine those two and you ship it out to him.
Okay. Well, I'll figure it out. We'll figure this out. I won't be shipping this stuff until July. So, you know,
we'll help Corventus. I promise. We'll help get John straight, and so you can still get that sketch for sure. For sure. Yeah, and that's the thing is, so you're having this first campaign, you're seeing the difference between Kickstarter and Indiegogo, you're seeing the difference between the demands between the two platforms.
Right.
And I think that's going to help when you do your next campaign to make sure, okay, these are the things that I know that people wanted. These are the silly little loopholes that I had to work out for that first campaign that I don't want to do again. So I'll make sure adding on a sketch perk, and you can still limit your add-ons. So if you don't want to draw up 500
I could just say one.
You could. You could do secret perks. That's what a lot of people do. Well, they'll do a secret perk and then they'll send it directly to the person who is requesting it if they're going to do something a little bit different than what they would normally do.
Okay. You see, now I've done 3 Indiegogo campaigns, but I've not known about that. You know, the secret.
There's always something to learn. There's so much that you can do, and we've seen so many different campaigns that we've seen how to do a lot of them. So if you need help with that, you let me and Si know. We will help you out.
Okay, great.
100%.
Yeah,
look at that. He's like, yes, please, let's do a secret perk, because he wants to make sure he can get his sketch. And I totally understand, Corventus. I totally understand. Death Metal Hero says the Valkyrie flight for the win. I am so pleased. Like I said, I wanted to see you get over 1,000. Ryan wanted to see you get over 1,000, and you didn't just squeak over 1,000. You're almost at 1,100 now, which makes me very happy. I want to see you much higher on the next campaign, but I think that once people get it and they start seeing what it's all about and hearing all of your thoughts and feelings and ideas, and just like Luke and Josh both said, or I guess it was just Josh, I'm sorry, all the stuff they wouldn't let me do in the animation industry is a fantastic tagline. Fantastic, especially because a lot of people that are in this indie scene, we're here because we're tired of being censored. We're tired of being told what we can and can't do with storytelling. So if you're sitting here going, well, I've been in the animation gig since the 70s, and this is everything that I've wanted to do and I haven't been able to until now, and it's like, oh, I want to know what that is. That sounds amazing.
For people who have been fans of you for the better part of 45 years. Yeah,
exactly. And that's the thing. Well, I think that we can probably help make sure that not only people see this one, I can't wait to get it and read it, because I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. And then once I do, I know Luke does reviews. We're starting to do reviews. Once that gets out there more, John, I want to make sure we keep bringing you back on, because this is fun. This is just good old-fashioned fun. This is stuff that needs to be out there more, and I definitely think that there is an audience for you. We just gotta.
It's just a matter of because if it's a situation where this is what I did gave you pleasure as a kid, then we got something to talk about.
Exactly. And I think putting the face to the IPs that people remember is really all that they need. They just need to know that was you. Yeah. I'm so happy that we were able to get you on. Did you have any last little bits that you wanted to talk about before we wrap?
Let's see. Let's see. No, it's. Oh, I am just going to carry on doing. I'm just going to keep on with the Indiegogo campaign.
Good.
I mean, where it's the in demand is there.
How long are you staying in demand before you close?
Oh, I still have. I will close that in demand when I launch the next book, which will be probably September.
So you're going to overprint
October.
so you can still fill.
Yeah. Well, people could do that, and then I'll have the new one. Because people will want to have the first book to do the second book, because you're going to need that. So, but the thing is that I will offer that in the next campaign.
I'm so glad that I don't have to tell you this. You're just like, I know people are going to want the first one
I launch the second campaign.
This ain't John's first rodeo.
I know, but it makes me so happy because there's so many people that are like, well, I wasn't going to offer the first book in the second campaign. I go, why not? Because you're going to have a different audience. You're going to have repeat, but then they're going to have told their friends. And they're not going to want to jump in halfway through. They're going to want to start from the beginning.
Wait,
you go, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know.
This is not my first rodeo,
I know.
This is,
it makes me so happy.
I know about reruns. I know about holding on to stuff,
Charles, like, how do you think half of you people found me? It was reruns.
Well, you know what? I will put this here. I'll put this out because it's part of this whole thing. The reason I decided to do, I bring out the Bloodwing Angel as an adult, as a mature book, is because I didn't get very much of a response with my Snuffy and Zoe and Mega Moose campaigns, because those were for kids. Mm-hmm. And it's something that you just can't force. Kids, 4-year-olds to 12-year-olds don't have credit cards.
No, it depends on their parents.
Yeah, I know.
If you can't sell their parents enough or have the kids love it so much that they drive the parents insane.
Yeah.
There's not a lot you could do about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's why I just I had to go from doing the John the Animator comics to Johnny's Mind comics, because that's what's going on in my mind, the Bloodwing Angel. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, well, that's there you go. I still have a couple of things. Who knows what's ever going to happen with Snuffy and Zoe and Mega Moose.
Yeah.
You never know. But
I mean, and it could be that once the adults start reading kind of your stuff again and they remember what it was like when they were kids growing up with your storytelling, and then they find out that you have a kid's book, they're like, I mean, I would let my kids read that. That would, but you got to make sure that the adults know you. Remember
and that's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that if people will look at your stuff, and if it's not just what I did in the past, what am I doing today?
Exactly.
And how am I tickling their fancy today as I did as a child, as when they were children. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm trying to prove with Bloodwing and with Michael and with the adventures that they go on here.
I love this. Pedro says Mega Moose would make a great 5-minute YouTube Shorts series. That could be another way to get people interested in picking up books too.
Yeah, but animation, that's a lot of work. That's a lot
I
of
know.
work. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
There's a reason I don't do it.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah. I only have so much time left, pencil mileage in these hands,
That's fair. What about says hail this glorious stream and that glorious mustache? we all need to take in the mustache. It is a phenomenal mustache.
You don't see mustaches like that anymore.
You don't.
No. Well, what happened to? I mean, the mustache wax is there. Yeah. It's just, it's just.
People are babies.
Pedro says that we destroyed his headache with this stream. We are very happy your headache has gone.
Oh, you destroyed a headache.
He had a headache. He drank a lot last night.
Okay.
He's good now.
Geez. Well, anyway, this is basically what I have. I mean, this is what I'm doing for the next few acts, years. So there you go.
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Everybody, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for backing, because this definitely deserves a lot more play than what it's been getting. And I think that hopefully after people start getting this first book, it's going to start getting that play. And we'll make sure that we have you on for book 2. In fact, do you want us to launch you?
Sure.
We can launch your Indiegogo for
you.
And so we'll do a whole launch stream. We'll get people hyped about it. I think that that'd be pretty cool, and hopefully we'll get you some eyes. So let's talk about getting that set up. I think
we will. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you, John, for being with us. Chat, you are amazing as always. CY, couldn't do this without you. Super appreciate you. And we will catch you guys next time. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.